Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Paul VI High School, the home of the Eagles, as we bring you a South Jersey High School West Jersey Football League Continental Division matchup between Willingboro and Paul VI. I'm Chris Baker, and I'll be taking through tonight's ride. But we got two of South Jersey's top-tier coaches, if you may, with Coach Scuderi, the head coach of Paul VI, and Coach Kenny Scott in his first year at Willingboro, formerly at Winslow. So pregame ceremonies have been completed. Coin toss been completed as well. Captains for the Chimeras and Eagles have done their due diligence at midfield. We're just waiting to get underway here. Looks like Paul VI will get the ball first. New look Chimeras team this year, obviously, as I mentioned before. Coach Kenny Scott, first year at the helm of Willingboro, formerly at Winslow, but spent the past 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, as the defensive coordinator at Eastside in Camden. So now back at the helm of a program as the former coach, Steve Everett, took over at Burlington Township. They're off to a pretty hot start over there as well, just as the Chimeras are undefeated. Paul VI looking to keep their winning streak going here. They have only one loss in the season a couple weeks ago to St. Augustine at the home of the Hermits. We're about to get underway here in Paul VI's territory. Kick is back. It is going to be fielded at about the 17-yard line. Pretty decent return there. And the Eagles will take over now. So here comes Dalton Felinas, the Clearview transfer, under center now for the Eagles as they take over on their own 25-yard line. Coach Scuderi's Eagles going to get ready here to get this thing underway. Felinas drops back. Going to look to his left. There's a man downfield. He's looking for his man Bailey. He's brought it in.
Looks like it's caught. And he's inbounds.
Sorry, that was not Bailey. That was Tyree Roan.
Tyree Roan with the snatch out on the opposite 49.
Tyree Roan, what a heck of a catch there. And the Eagles coming out, slinging the ball here early. They're going to take over at the Willingboro 26. Felinas is going to hand it off to his man on the left side there. Small gain, but 2 yards there from Nate Klecko. Running back, sophomore. And the Eagles are plus territory now. Felinas empty backfield. Going to take the snap. Going to roll out to his right. Has a man across the field. It is way overthrown. So third and about medium coming up now. First 2 plays for the Eagles were looking good. He was looking for his man Elijah Wilson downfield, but a little bit too overthrown there.
Wilson was the intended receiver on that last pass attempt. Third down.
Third and medium now for the Eagles coming up. A little bit of trickeration here as Bailey's going to take the double reverse. Going to make a cut across the field, and he's going to be tackled well into Willingboro territory. Austin Bailey there on the double reverse. A little bit of trickeration there from the Eagles, but we do have laundry on the field. This one might be coming back.
Around the 37-yard line, so we're going to take a peek and see what's going on. Holding on the offense, so unfortunately, folks, that one's coming back.
So it looks like it will be coming back. A huge play for the Eagles. Ends up being brought back. So after the walk-off, it's a gain of about 1. So give Austin Bailey a rushing attempt for a yard. Big game for Willingboro as they do indeed get some as their transfers are now activated. One of the notable transfers, Chris Scott, the Holy Cross transfer here for the Chimeras. Felinas drops back, looks to his right, looks across the middle again. He's got Bailey. It is going to be incomplete. Almost picked off there by number 9, Darrell Coleman. Coleman, if I'm not mistaken, the team interceptions leader with 5 interceptions on the year. And here comes a punt unit for Paul VI. Blake's shoulder on the punt now for Paul VI. And back deep for the Chimeras, it looks like number 2, Terrence Knighton. Shoulder high snap. Gets it off. Pretty good punt down the seam. And it'll be down at about the, call it 17. So Willingboro will take over on their own 17-yard line, give or take.
Willingboro will start out in their first offensive series for their own.
So the Chimeras will take the field now, led by Sean Taylor, the first year under center for varsity after Lamar Best took the hike up north to Montvale, now a part of St. Joe's and their team up there. We'll see them in action tomorrow as they host St. Peter's Prep. 1 o'clock start. Taylor going to hand it off to his man at the middle. Looks like Cottle. Cottle's going to take it up the seam, going to be stuffed. And that's about where he'll stay or be marked at. Gain of about 4, maybe 3. So Makai Cottle there, gain of 3. Cottle takes the handoff up the middle. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, if that. I'm going to give him about a yard and a half gain there for Cottle. Paul VI defense led by the stud linebacker. You see there, number 52, Mo Keshin. Taylor going to drop back here. Pumps to his left, going to roll out right. Looks on the sideline, has a man, Scott. Incomplete, but there is some laundry in the offensive backfield. There's a flag down. We'll see what the call is here from the White Hat. They're going to say holding on the offense going to be declined, so incomplete pass there for Taylor as Scott nearly got a foot in bounds.
Holding called on the offense, that penalty's declined. 4th down.
So Scott trying to make plays early here in his first game active after the transfer ruling having to sit for 3 games. And here comes the punt unit now for Willingboro. punt is up and away. Bailey tells his man to let it go. Takes a Paul of 6 hop, too, so they're going to take over in Willingboro territory. 8:15 remaining in the first quarter of play here. Willingboro is going to take over at the, Paul 6 is going to take over at the Willingboro 43-yard line. So plus territory early here for the Eagles. Say the Willingboro punt takes a hop. Felinas hands it off to Klecko. Klecko's going to be met in the backfield. They're going to lose a couple yards here. Loss of about 2.
Loses a pair of yards, that is, on the play. It's outside the sticks for 2 seconds as well.
Second and long now coming up for Paul the 6th. Second and long coming up now for the Eagles. 2-back set here for Paul the 6th. Felinas hands off the Kleck up the middle again. It gets stuffed in the backfield for the second consecutive play. Another loss of yards there for the Eagles, and they're going to keep on getting backed up here. Loss of about 3 on the play. So the Willingboro defensive front holding strong here.
Third and long situation for the PVI offense, but down to just about 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Third and fairly long, but manageable still as well. So here comes the Eagles now. Felinas with an empty backfield. Trips to his right side. Felinas drops back, looks over the middle. Had a man, was looking for Wilson, but incomplete. We do have a flag, though. Flag is holding on the offense. It'll be declined. So an incomplete pass for Felinas. And here comes the punt unit now for the Eagles. Shoulder gets the snap, gets the punt. About straight up punt, but a pretty good carry with the wind here. Takes a couple of hops backwards. And it looks like Willingboro will take over now on their own 30-yard line. The Chimeras will try and get something going here. Here comes the Willingboro offense now after the defense held steady, forced a couple losses. Cottle takes the handoff up the right side. Is met immediately. They're going to give him a loss of a yard there. Sean Taylor's pass is broken up on the left side there. Number 15 for the Paulus 6 secondary. There we go. We got a scoreboard now for you. My apologies to all those people who are waiting for the scoreboard. That's on me. Nicholas Reed there on the breakup. Taylor was looking for his man Knighton. So 3rd and long now coming up for the Chimeras. Taylor going to drop back, look to his left, going to roll out that same side too. Throws off his back foot, looking for his man Knighton, but incomplete.
Incomplete, intended for Knighton. 4th down.
So 4th down now, and here comes the punt unit for Willingboro. Both defenses holding fairly strong here. Both offenses looking for some kind of spark plug to get things going.
Back on for Willingboro. Both teams treating a pair of 3 and outs each.
So a chess match essentially early on here. Punt nearly blocked there. Keshin got back there and barely fields the punt, calling a fair catch in Paulus 6 territory. Mo Keshin went head over heels there, trying to block the punt. Pretty good effort there from the senior. Now Paulus 6 will take over on their own 43 after they start their last drive on the Willingboro 43. The Paul 6 offense back on the field now. Klecko takes the handoff off the middle, has a seam. Pretty good gain there from Nate Klecko. Presumably back in the positives after last year he's had him back in the negative total yardage for the game. Gain of about 9 on the play. So the Eagles looking to try and wear down that defensive front that was stifling the last go around. Felinas hands off to Klecko again up the middle. Klecko cuts out to the left side, gets the first down and then some. Klecko puts his foot in the ground and is eventually drugged down at about the Willingboro 46.
Ball now to Willingboro 36-yard line.
Sorry, 36, not 46. My apologies there. So Paul 6 creeping into plus territory, trying to knock on the door of the red zone. Getting about 16 there. Felinas drops back, has him into his left side. Hauled in by Bailey.
Bailey. Around the 30-yard line.
So Austin Bailey with his first catch today. Not called back this time after a little double reverse trick play. Got a huge chunk, but was called back due to a holding penalty. Felinas empty backfield, trips to his right side now. Gonna roll to his right. Faces some pressure, throws across the middle. He's got his man Wilson. And the Eagles get the first down as Felinas threw off his back foot. He found his man Elijah Wilson downfield.
Down from the Willingboro 21. A yard shy of the red zone, gang.
Eagles knocking on the door of the red zone now. Empty backfield again for Felinas, the junior. Motion here. Jet sweep to the left side. Immediately met in the backfield there. Swarm of chimeras. Loss of yards there on the jet sweep. That was Matthew Greco there on the jet sweep for Paul the Sixth. So the Eagles now on the Willingboro 25-yard line. Fellini is going to hand it off up the middle to Greco. Greco's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it there. That's all he will get.
About 13 and a half. Coming down to about a minute and a half remaining in the first quarter. Still no score.
Time slowly winding down as we got a $1:30 left here in the first quarter. Empty backfield here for Felinas here. Looks to his left, gonna look downfield. He's got a man open. It's Greco, and just out of his reach. Greco was wide open on the left sideline. Almost had him, but slightly out of reach there. And it looks like Eagles will attempt field goal here, possibly. Maybe just a short little pooch punt. The block is on the field. So here comes a field goal attempt for Paul the Sixth. 42-yard attempt here for the Eagles.
42-yard attempt.
Left hash for shoulder. 42-yarder coming up for the Eagles. Bad snap, and the Eagles fall right on top of it. So a turnover on downs after a bad snap there on the 42-yard field goal attempt. Willingboro will take over on their own 33-yard line. As neither offense has yet to find a spark here. Cottle takes a handoff up the middle. It's going to be met for a gain of about 2. So Mekhi Cottle, the junior, gets a gain of about, we'll call it 3 there. Gave an extra yard or 2. The holder on that ended up falling on top of it for Paul VI was Nicholas Reed for Paul VI. Quick play to just fall right on top of it instead of trying to make something happen. Taylor hands it off to Cottle again up the middle. Maybe a loss of a couple yards. I'm going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. So forward progress gets him a gain of 0. As there's 15 seconds and counting left here in the first quarter. Looks like Coach Kenny Scott and company will let this clock run down and head to the second quarter. So they will indeed switch fields here, flip fields.
After 1, no scores.
We're scoreless through 1 quarter of play here between Paul VI and Willingboro in a West Jersey Football League Continental Division matchup between the two. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. So we are back here in the second quarter of play between the Chimeras and the host Eagles of Paula 6th. Willingboro got third and medium now for the offense. Quick first quarter as neither team could get anything on the board after a botched snap on the 42-yard field goal attempt for the Eagles was no good. Taylor couldn't find a man there. Had a couple guys in the area, but couldn't link up with either one. So here comes the punt unit again. Bailey and Roan back deep for the Eagles to receive the punt. And again, Keshin tries to get up and block it. Decent roll there for the Chimeras. This ball's going to be down at about the Paula 6 30-yard line. So a pretty good punt there from Willingboro sets up Paula 6 a little over halfway in their own territory. Second quarter now officially, I guess technically underway now after the punt. And we did have a quick incompletion to get the clock rolling. This will lead the offense back out here for Paula 6th. Screenplay here to Wilson. Wilson takes in the screen, gets a first down and then some, trucks a man, almost gets to midfield. So a gain of about 18 there on the screenplay from Felinas to Wilson. The Eagles got something brewing here early in the second quarter. It's a big screenplay, sets them up just shy of midfield. Felinas hands off to Klecko. He's going to bounce out to the right side and makes a couple men miss. And another pretty decent run there from Nate Klecko, the sophomore. Gain of about 5. Felina's going to drop back, draw up the middle of Klecko. Klecko breaks a tackle, gets the first down, and it's going to be taken down at about the Willingboro 35. They're going to say he got past the 35, so the Willingboro 34.
About 10 minutes remaining in the first half.
Felinas back under center here now. After taking a couple snaps with the shotgun. He do has a trip set to his left there. Klecko takes the handoff, gets up the middle, and is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's all he'll get. Klecko, a sophomore son. Son of Dan Klecko, if I'm correct, that is his name. On the Paula 6 coaching staff. My apologies here, Coach. Yep, Dan Klecko, former Patriots and Eagles player. So, Klecko, the workhorse back here for Paula 6. Felinas going to drop back, look to his right, looks down to his left. He's going to be sacked in the backfield. Mackay Cottle.
45-yard line. That's going to take it way outside. This time, but 3rd and long.
Mackay Cottle coming in hot there. And the Chimeras, with their backs against the wall, come up with a huge sack there. 3rd and about a mile now. Coming up for Paul the 6th.
We have movement.
Got some movement pre-snap here. Not legal movement. So.
Offsides, Willingboro.
So the Eagles get some yards back there from the offsides penalty.
5 yards.
Only got 3rd and 15 now. A little bit more manageable for the Eagles offense. Felinas going to air it out on the right sideline. He's got a man. It is barely overthrown there. Was looking for his man, Tyree Roan.
Run the intended receiver downfield.
And we're going to see if Coach Scuderi keeps the offense on the field. No, he will not. Here comes Shoulder. And the punt unit will come on for the Eagles. This situation right here, you're telling your punter you want more hang time than you do length downfield. Shoulder takes the snap, gets the punt up and away. Gonna roll short of the goal line. They're gonna say the ball rolled out at about the 5.
Willingboro is going to start out deep in their own zone.
So a
1st and 10.
pretty much coffin corner punt there for Shoulder. Pins Willingboro back deep on their 5-yard line. Willingboro offense now going to try and get out of their own territory. Taylor hands it off up the middle. It's a good loss of a couple of yards there.
Why the Eagle defense dropped back for a couple of yards.
Trying to find a number on the running back there. Chris Scott, Holy Cross transfer, takes his first handoff. Loss of about 2. The Chimeras, their backs are very deep against the wall here. Six minutes and 50 seconds left here in the second quarter as Coach Kenny Scott will call a timeout. 6 minutes and 48 seconds left here now in the second quarter as Willingboro faces a 2nd and 12 from their own 3-yard line. We'll be right back after the timeout. We're back now to the timeout from Willingboro. Second and 12 now from their own 3-yard line. After the negative play there, Chris Scott was stuffed in the backfield. Taylor going to hand it off here to Scott again. Scott barely gets out of the end zone. They're going to say the ball did get out, so no safety there. Scott smartly reached over the goal line. His body was in the end zone, but the ball was over the goal line. So another loss of 2. 3rd and what seems like for the offense, 3rd and forever now, as they're backed up on their 1-yard line, barely maybe the half-inch line, if that. The Chimeras offense needs a big play here. Taylor pulls it, going to take it on the read option, gets out of the end zone, gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Beyond the goal line, gets to maybe the 5, gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
So Taylor pulls it on the read option, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and here comes the punt unit now for Willingboro. Willingboro's punter's heels on the back of the end zone. No time to really get much of a step into the punt here. Got to get it up and away. Bad snap in the end zone. He's going to try and get out, and the punt gets out at the 3-yard line, we'll call it. So the punt was successful there. That looks like number 8. James Pemberton just barely got the ball away. And Paula 6 is going to take over on the Willingboro about 3-yard line here. So the Eagles, this is a prime spot here. This is exactly where you want it. Assuming Coach Scuderi wants to pound the rock here. 2 back set. He's got Ronan under center here, actually, out of the Wildcat. Got Klecko to his right. Roan takes a snap at the Wildcat. Direct snap. Roan going to try and punch it in. Gain of 2 yards.
2 yards, so we're going to go second and goal.
So second and goal from the 2-yard line now as the punt got out at the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Huge opportunity here for the Eagles to try and capitalize early. With an injury timeout. Or maybe just a completely full team timeout. Looks like Willingboro. No, just an injury timeout. So no team timeout.
Hang on for a couple seconds. Second and goal.
Second and goal now. More Wildcat offense for the Eagles. Rowan takes a direct snap, hands off to Klecko. Klecko bobbles it, breaks the tackle, and is going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage.
Short of the line of scrimmage, so we're going to get a 3rd and goal here.
So Klecko loses about a yard, maybe half a yard on the play. We're going to get a timeout here from Paula 6.
That is their first charge. Timeout of the half.
We'll be right back here after the intermission as Coach Scuderi and company will talk it over here. Knock it on the goal line, possible first score of the game. So we're back now to the timeout. Quick little talk there as Coach Scuderi and company wanted to just make sure the players were on the right page. Here's a prime opportunity to get in the end zone here. They don't want to squander it. So Felinas back under center now after the Wildcat formation. Wilson to his left. Klecko the wing. Felinas hands off to Wilson. Wilson gets it for the touchdown! Elijah Wilson, the 3-yard rushing touchdown. Paul 6 finally gets on the board after both teams kept trading punts and turnover on downs. And the home Eagles finally break the ice here late in the second quarter. Shoulder on for the extra point now. Shoulder's extra point is up, and it is right down broad. So, the Eagles take a 7-0 lead here late in the second quarter. Your host, Paul 6, leads 7-0 with 4 minutes and 16 seconds left here in the second quarter of play. The home crowd feeling good. Vibes are high here from the flock in front of us. The always trusty student section to fill up the bleachers. Always hooting and hollering, as you can count on. Great home field advantage for Paul 6th. Shoulder will get ready to send this one back to the Chimeras. Pardon the wind here. It's quite windy here in Haddon. Anybody looking for a Winslow and Millville score update? Winslow currently leads Millville 21-7. About halfway through the second quarter. Shoulder, a little squib kick up the middle here. Taken in by Pemberton there. Pretty decent return as they're going to get to the, Pemberton gets to the Willingboro 38-yard line, give or take. It is going to be spotted at the 38. So the Chimeras, 4 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the second quarter. As the Burlington County Ball Club going to look to try and answer back here after the rushing touchdown from Elijah Wilson. And immediately here on offense, Sean Taylor is going to be met with an empty backfield. So here comes the 2-minute drill. Cottle motions in now. Taylor pulls it from Cottle. Going to roll out to his left side. Going to get a couple yards. And Sean Taylor is going to be marked out about 2 yards short. So a gain of 8 now are there for Sean Taylor as he pulled it from Cottle in the read option. Stuck the ball out, just barely was short. Taylor hands off to Cottle this time. Cottle going to try and cut back up the middle. Tries to get to the first down marker, but it looks like they're going to mark him short. So a gain of about 1.5 yards, give or take. So they're going to say you got the first down. So
Late in the second quarter.
moving the chains now for the Chimeras. Makai Cottle picks up the first down. Taylor pulls it, has a man downfield. They're going to lose a couple of yards here, maybe gain about one. On the little RPO play there as Chris Jones kept on running backwards. So looked like a gain of about maybe 6 or 7, maybe 8. Ends up turning into about a gain of 2. Gain of 2 there. Gave him some extra yard on the forward progress. So a possible play there that could come back to look at. Taylor escapes pressure. Guys, his man Scott downfield. Chris Scott puts his foot in the ground, makes a couple men miss, tries to squirm out of the tackle, and eventually is brought down. Scott saw him at our 7-on-7 this offseason and saw his film from last year. He's shifty. He's like a human joystick out there. That kid is dynamic. That kid is athletic. Big chunk play there for the Chimeras. And now they're marching deeper into Paula 6 territory. Taylor, swing pass out of the backfield, finds Cotto, but we do have some laundry on the field. Maybe an offsides or maybe a false start. Not sure who this is going against. Looks like it's against Willingboro. Illegal motion. Illegal motion there on Willingboro. Okay, so never mind. Roughing the passer on Paula 6. So the penalties will offset. We're going to replay the down here. Redo this one. So a break there for Paula 6 and Willingboro, essentially. That play just technically never happened now. So we're going to replay 1st and 10 as Willingboro's on the Paula 6 34-yard line. Minute and 50 left here in the second quarter. Cottle motions out to the right. Taylor going to drop back. Looks downfield, has a man. It's Knighton. Knighton cuts back field, tries to get up, and his forward progress is going to be stopped a couple yards short of the first down marker. Gain of about, looks like 8. As Taylor links up with Knighton there. Minute and 10 left now in the second quarter. Taylor looks to his left side, has a man downfield. Scott Coleman. Garrett Coleman picks up the first down and then some for the Chimeras.
Less than 45 going ahead.
Taylor hands up to Cotto in the middle. Cotto had a seam, but it was popped inside the scrum there. And 36 seconds left as Willingboro will call timeout. Try and preserve some clock here. Gain of about 6 there from Cotto. We're going to take a quick timeout here as the Chimeras are going to talk things over, try and hop on the scoreboard before the half ends. Be right back. Chimera's offense back on the field here after the timeout. 36 seconds left here in the first half. I'd imagine Coach Kenny Scott going to try and take a couple shots at the end zone, maybe try and get past the sticks, try and stop that clock. Scott motions over. Little touch pass to Scott, puts his foot in the ground. Is going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of about a yard. And looks like Willingboro will call their first timeout, or sorry, their last timeout. On the little touch pass from Taylor to Scott there. 30 seconds left here in the first half.
Timeout Willingboro, 30 seconds on the clock.
Looking for more scoring updates on that Winslow-Millville matchup. Can't find anything. A couple other score updates around South Jersey. Ocean City leads Hamilton 14-7. Camden leads Rancocas Valley 27-7. And Pennsauken leads Eastern 27-8. So we're back here now. .30 seconds left here in the first half for the Chimeras. Taylor with an empty backfield, trips to his right side, two receivers to his left. Taylor going to take it, going to look to his right immediately, has a man downfield, it is incomplete. Overthrows his man Pemberton. So fourth down here. Don't believe Willingboro has a kicker. Unless you want to try the good old drop kick. Try and get 2 points out of it, but the offense will indeed stay on the field for Willingboro. If they do get a first down, the clock does stop until the ball is set. But they need to get the first down or get in the end zone here. We'll see what Kenny Scott's coaching staff has cooked up here on offense. Taylor looks to his right, goes across the middle of the field, intended for Knighton, but incomplete. So the Paula 6 defense with a red zone stand there.
Down from their own 11-yard line. There's 21 seconds remaining in the first half.
Paula 6 will take over on its own 11-yard line. And there's 21 seconds left here in the second quarter. Not sure Coach Scuderi might risk anything here. Maybe just take a knee and head to the locker rooms. But we'll see what they have in store. These waning moments left here in the first half. Looks like right now that he will line up in shotgun, Felinas. He will not. He'll make his way under center. Klecko nearby. They are going to kneel it. Okay. So crystal ball was right. Paul 6 will just kneel it out and head to halftime as Felinas takes the knee. Time will wind down here. We'll head to halftime. Paul 6 leads Willingboro 7-0 in a West Jersey Football League Continental Division matchup between two of the division leaders right now, if I'm correct. Both undefeated in the division. I could be wrong, but we'll head to halftime. We are back here at the Paula 6 Eagles Nest as they host division rival Willingboro, the Continental Division.
Paula 6 and Willingboro. PVI up 7-0. Willingboro all set to receive the opening kick.
Shoulder getting ready to send this one back here to Willingboro as the Chimeras will receive the ball to start the second half. As Paula 6 leads 7-0 here. Little squib kick up the middle from shoulder. Ball still loose, and it looks like Paula 6 has it.
We have contact.
Paula 6 hops on it after the ball
We have first and 10.
was
PVI.
jarred loose there, and the Eagles hop on it. Chris Jones couldn't get a handle on it, and Paula 6 will take over deep in Willingboro territory to start the second half. So they'll take over the Willingboro 28.
28-yard line. First and 10. Eagles.
Felinas hands out to Klecko. Gets maybe a yard. Nope, right back to the line of scrimmage. The final verdict from the side judge. So 2nd and 10 now for the Eagles. Speaking of Eagles, Winslow leads Millville 28-7 down in the Holly City of Millville. The potential game of the year candidate and primetime matchup for tonight's slate in South Jersey. Eagles offense going to try here on 2nd and 10. Felinas fixes the hand up to Klecko. Has his man bunt on the left side, but is hit immediately. Gain of about 3 as Kevin bunt. Get maybe 2 yards on that one.
In the opening moments of the third quarter.
A screenplay, semi-productive there for Paul 6. Third and about 8 now for the Eagles. Felinas drops back, looks to his left, has a man downfield. It's Roan.
Nearly intercepted pass intended for
I think Roan caught that. Did not, so it's incomplete. Like I said, I want to apologize for the wind here. Not sure if they're going to send shoulder out or not. It looks like Felinas will go back there under center. Paul 6 going to go for it now, try and capitalize off the early miscue from Willingboro. Felinas out of the shotgun. Looks to his left on the left side. He's got his man downfield and is caught. Tyree Roan is going to get the first down. So about a 10-yard gain there from Felinas to Roan. Caught 11. So 12 actually, my apologies. A 12-yard gain there from the connection from Felinas to Roan. Big set of downs now for the Eagles in the red zone. Felinas heads up to Klecko. Klecko is upended about the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard. So they're going to say Klecko got to the line of scrimmage. That's all he'll get. 2nd and 10 now for the Eagles. Wilson and now at running back. Wilson takes a handoff up the middle. Wilson breaks from the middle and for the touchdown! Elijah Wilson's 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. 16 yards for the score. And Elijah Wilson extends the Paula 6 lead as the Eagles take a 13-0 lead pending the extra point. Paula 6 here looking in pretty good shape early in the 3rd quarter. We may have an injury timeout here as well. Elijah Wilson right on cue there. Just as I mentioned him in at running back. Plunges in from 16 yards out. Extends the Paul 6 lead. Try and find some more scoring updates here as we have the injury timeout. Winslow 35, Millville 7 now. As Winslow has scored again. 5:37 left in the game. So Winslow leaving no doubt who number 1 in South Jersey is there. Camden High leads Rancocas Valley 34-27. Rancocas Valley was down 27-7 at one point. The Red Devils making a comeback. Holy Spirit up 21-7. Glassboro up on Woodbury 34-0. Bridgeton up on Triton 12-0. Bridgeton looking to continue their undefeated season so far. Delsey leads Timber Creek 24-7. Crusaders looking for their first win. I know Rutgers plays tonight. Good amount of South Jersey guys up there as well. Speaking of Willingboro, Chris Long, the Willingboro alumnus for the Scarlet Knights. So they host Washington in a blackout up at SHI Stadium. Kenny Fletcher, Del Ran is up there. Holy Cross has a guy up there as well. A couple other South Jersey guys up there for the Scarlet Knights. Big primetime matchup for the Big Ten contestants. Phillies, any Phillies fans on here as well watching? They are trailing 7-0 in the top of the 6th. Ranger Suarez just didn't have it today. Stretcher and or ambulance will be called for the injured Willingboro player, so we hope all is well there. We're going to take a quick break here as we wait the injury timeout to be over. We'll be back. Stay tuned. All right, so we are back now after the injury timeout. Thoughts go out to that Willingboro player. Hopefully, speedy recovery. Hopefully, nothing serious there. Extra point coming up for Paul VI after the Elijah Wilson touchdown run. Shoulder, get ready to send this one through. And the extra point is good. Not sure what happened there. I didn't get a good view of the kick, but referee signal it is good. Paul VI takes a 14-0 lead over Willingboro with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. So the Eagles ready to send this one away here after the touchdown drive. Six-play touchdown drive. For the Eagles is Shoulder getting ready to send this one away here. Shoulder's kick is up and then is away. Big return here from Scott.
Stop somewhere in the neighborhood of the 27-yard line.
Nice return there for Scott. Speedy senior for the Chimeras. Ball will be spotted at the Willingboro 28-yard line. So back-to-back drives start at the Willingboro 28-yard line as the opening kick for the second half was fumbled around and jarred loose, and Paul VI hopped on it on the Willingboro 28. Now Willingboro will take over on their own 28. So we're going to get set now for the Chimeras' first offensive drive of the second half here. Taylor hands off to Cottle. Cottle met in the backfield. Going to lose about 2 yards. Looks like Nate Klecko first on the scene. So Cottle tackled for a loss there. Second and 11 now coming up for the Chimeras. Taylor looks over to his right, has a man, it is almost intercepted. Nearly picked off there by Wilson. The pass was intended for James Pemberton. Third and 11 coming up now for Willingboro. Taylor drops back, faces some pressure, rolls out to his right, looks downfield, has a man downfield. It is dropped right through the hands of Scott. Would have been in bounds. Had two men right there, Terrence Knight and Chris Scott. Scott couldn't come up with it, so 4th and 11 now coming up for Willingboro. And here comes the punt unit. Never mind, looks like the offense will stay on the field possibly. Nope. Punt unit will come on the field. Pemberton gets set to send this one back here to either Austin Bailey or Tyree Roan, the return men for Paul VI. Pemberton takes the snap, gets the kick off down the middle of the field. Gonna roll and gonna be downed at, looks like the Willingboro 49. So Paul VI will start in Willingboro territory for the fourth time tonight. Fourth offensive drive starting in Chimera plus territory for the Eagles, as Felinas will head to the huddle and display the play to his guys. Felinas hands out to Klecko. Klecko gets up the middle. I'm sorry, that's Greco. Greco, a St. Joe's Hamilton transfer. We have a final from Millville. Winslow officially takes over the number 1 spot in South Jersey as the Eagles beat Millville 35-7 on Millville's home turf. Second and about 9 coming up here for Paul VI. We turn our attention back to this game. Motion across the middle here. Felinas flips out to Klecko. Klecko has it. He's going to get the sideline. There goes Klecko. He is going to go the distance. Nate Klecko, 48 yards to the house. Paul VI takes an even bigger step here in the scoring column as Dalton Felinas hits Nate Klecko 48 yards for the score. Extra point pending here from Shoulder. Kick is up, and it is good.
6:49 remaining in the third quarter. All 6:21.
Little under halfway through the third quarter now. Paul VI leads Willingboro 21-0. This is a very important matchup for both teams, as this possibly could be a deciding factor, as both powerhouses are in the West Jersey Football League Continental Division. Obviously, every division game counts, but this one right here, this is a huge one. Obviously, Willingboro plays Seneca. I want to say the last week of the regular season. That also could possibly come down as the deciding game. Who knows? Obviously, we still have about a month, maybe 2 more months left to play of South Jersey football. So don't want to get too ahead of myself, but regardless, it is a key game for both sides, as it is a division game.
Awesome PVI varsity dance team doing a super job as usual at halftime. And I would be remiss, and it wouldn't be me if it didn't also include our hardworking cheerleaders, kicking it every single game down on our sidelines. Doing a great job, ladies.
So Blake Shoulder stays perfect on extra points. So he's 3 for 3. Obviously still perfect on the day. Little squib kick there. Ball's still loose, but Chimeras do hop on it. It's like number 24, Tyseer DeMar, the sophomore. The Chimeras will take over with fairly decent field position in their own territory, not too far back. Looks like they'll take over on their own 39-yard line. So here comes the Chimera's offense after a 3-and-out resulted in a 2-play drive for Paula Six. Cottle takes a handoff up the middle. Cottle's got room, and he's going to be dropped. Mo Keshin there on the tackle. Got a gain of 7 from Makai Cottle. Second and about 3 now for Willingboro. Taylor hands it off to Cottle. Cottle tries to get up the middle. Is immediately met in the A-gap by a swarm of Eagles. Does gain about 2 yards, though, on the play. So third and very short for Willingboro. Handoff there took a little bit longer than possibly needed. So it looks like Cottle's dropped in the backfield for a loss. Very long loss there. Injury timeout. We got an injury timeout here for Paula Six. There's Mo Keshin down for the Eagles. He's been all over the field tonight. Keshin walks off under his own power. Good sign for the Eagles. That is one of their key players on the offensive line and in the defensive front seven. All over the field there for the Paula Six offensive and defensive lines. Taylor going to drop back, faces some pressure from the backside. Taylor gets rid of it off his back foot. It is incomplete, out of bounds. So a turnover on downs for Willingboro. They'll take over in Willingboro territory at about the Willingboro 42-yard line. Felinius hands it off to Wilson up the middle. Wilson drags a couple defenders with him. Elijah Wilson gains about 5 yards on the play. Second and about 5 now coming up for the Eagles. Wilson takes a handoff again, gets up the right side, cuts back across, gets the first down, gains about a yard with it. So about a gain of 6 there for Elijah Wilson. fresh set of downs now after Elijah Wilson moved the chains for the Eagles. Paul Six kind of just draining the clock here, running the ball. Smart move from Coach Scuderi. Obviously, you don't want to risk any turnovers, any interceptions, or anything like that. Greco going to be met immediately in the backfield there. Looks like first on the scene was number 5, Quashawn Gooden, the sophomore. Or was that a 6? That's a 6, my fault. That's Mickey Moore first on the scene. As I think that was Matthew Greco. It looks like Matthew Greco. I'm pretty sure it was Greco on the carry. He loses about 2 yards. The St. Joe's Hamilton transfer, as I mentioned before. Felinas drops back. Has a lot of time in the pocket. Going to roll out to his right and is going to scramble. There is a flag on the play. See what the call is here. Holding on the offense. So back it up a couple of yards. Third and long now for, sorry, second and long. No, third and long. My apologies. It is third and long. I looked at the field incorrectly. Or, no, it is second down. Okay. So second and long now for the Eagles. Felinas drops back. Screenplay here to Greco. Sniffed out by Cottle. Kai Cottle there first on the scene for the Chimeras. Huge tackle there as Greco had a collective of blockers in front of him. So third and a mile now for Paul the Sixth. Minute and 45 and counting left in the third quarter here. Paul the Sixth leads Willingboro 21-0. Felinas drops back, draw play here. Greco going to try and gain a yard. Forward progress is stopped at the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play from Matthew Greco, the junior. Shoulder now on the punt for Paul the Sixth. Knighton back deep to receive for the Chimeras. Paul the Sixth going to take its time here to get this punt off. Shoulder gets the snap. Punt is up and away. Looks like it might have hit off a Willingboro player. Ball's loose on the field. Knighton's closest. Knighton's going to take it and run out of bounds. Knighton did call for a fair catch, but it was touched by a Willingboro player, so he had to hop on it and smartly ran out of bounds. Knighton high IQ play there as a flock of Eagles were in the area. Now Willingboro take over on their own 10-yard line.
37 seconds now remaining in the third quarter.
37 seconds left here in the third quarter. Taylor takes the snap, looks across the middle, has a man open. That's Pemberton. James Pemberton there. Excuse me. Gain of about 5. So, small chunk play there for the Chimeras. Taylor empty backfield here. Looks like from here on out, Willingboro might be in the 2-minute offense. Taylor going to look deep down the middle of the field. He has his man. It's caught by James Pemberton again. Pemberton was tripped up downfield and ends up coming up with it. Huge chunk play there for the Chimeras, as that's the end of the third quarter. We're going to head to the fourth quarter as Paula 6 leads Willingboro 21-0. So here comes the Chimeras offense after the 33-yard play there from Taylor to Pemberton. Taylor fakes the handoff, looks to the right side, has it, man, it's caught. That looks like Pemberton again. So Sean Taylor finding Mr. Reliable, James Pemberton, for about a 5-yard gain, looks about. Cottle in the handoff, gets up the middle. Is going to gain maybe a yard or two. Pyle keeps on moving, so Cottle gains about maybe 3 yards, 2 or 3 yards on the play.
We'll bring up third down and
3. 3rd and short coming up for Willingboro. Maybe not. We have a personal foul on Willingboro. So back it up 15 after the play. So back it up 15 yards. So 3rd and very long now coming up after the miscue from Willingboro, costing them 15 yards.
Up to their own 40-yard line. Still 3rd down.
Taylor with trips to his right, Cottle to his right, motions out to the left. Taylor drops back, looks across the middle, has a man wide open. It's Coleman, and Coleman drops it.
Up at the last second. Pass intended for Coleman.
Kevin Alexander Hamilton West on the breakup.
Hamilton West in for the PVI defense.
The junior comes in clutch with a pass breakup there, as Taylor had Coleman wide open on that side of the field. So that brings up 4th and very long. Willingboro going to keep the offense on the field, obviously, as time not on their side. So 4th and about 15, 16, maybe a little bit more. 4th and about, yeah, about that. 4th and 18. Cottle motion, that's to the left. Taylor drops back. Got to roll to his right, faces some pressure. Taylor looks across the middle of the field, throws it, intended for Scott, but incomplete. So a turnover on downs will give Paul the 6th pretty decent field position as they're going to set up shop on the Willingboro 40.
Offense back out onto the field, taking over on downs from the Willingboro 40.
So here comes Felinas in the Paul 6 offense now. Greco takes the handoff, gets up the middle. Greco has some space. Greco is going to be upended after the first down marker. Matthew Greco, big run there.
Another PBI first down.
The St. Joe's transfer getting it done. St. Joe's Hamilton. Not to be confused with St. Joe's in Philadelphia, the preparatory school. Felinas, swing pass over to Bailey. Bailey gets up and is going to be knocked out of bounds. We do have a flag on the play. On Bunt's reaction, it looks like maybe a holding on him. It is indeed. So negate the play and back it up.
Holding on Paul the 6th, so unfortunately that one's going to come back. From outside the sticks to about the 29-yard line.
So after the penalty, the loss is about a loss of 2 on the play. So negate Bailey's nice little run after the catch. First and about 12 now. Roan comes across the middle, hand up to Greco. Greco is dropped at the line of scrimmage. My. Number 50, Jalen Johnson, came in hot. Laid Greco out for a loss. So second and about 13 now after the loss on the play. Felinas, tight formation now for Paul the 6th. Greco to his right. Sweep here to Roan. Roan going to cut back across up the field. Looks like Roan might get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe get a yard or 2 with it. So Tyree Roan on the handoff. It's a gain of about 5. Positive play there for Paul the 6th. And third and long now for the Eagles. Driving down the field, facing away from the scoreboard. Felinas looks back across the middle of the field, has to get out of some pressure. He's got Bailey wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Paul the 6th. No! Christopher Scott came in at the very end of the play and knocked the ball loose. What looked like a surefire touchdown for Paula Six ends up as an incomplete pass. So 4th and long now for Paul the Sixth. Ball is on the, looks like the 26-yard line. So timeout Paul the Sixth. Paul the Sixth calls timeout here. So they lead 21-0. 7:45 remaining left in regulation as the Eagles lead a West Jersey Continental Division matchup. They lead Willingboro 21-0. So a 43-yard field goal attempt now for Shoulder. Right hash for the junior. Sorry, the kicker's not out there, so they're just going to go for it here. Maybe an injury to Felinas. Injury of some sort to Dalton Felinas. As Alessio Adanafini, Morta was right here, is going to be sacked in the backfield. So a turnover on downs. Johnson comes up with the sack. So after the Jalen Johnson sack, the Chimeras take over on downs. So here comes the Willingboro offense. They'll take over on their own 36-yard line. Taylor with trips to his right side. Cottle motions out that way. Taylor faces some pressure up the middle. Tries to get out to Cottle. He does, but they're going to lose some yards with it as Cottle was down on the ground as he caught it. So a loss of about 4 yards on the play. Bunch formation to Taylor's left. Taylor across the field has a man and is going to be dropped immediately. Hamilton West, as Darrell Coleman hauled that pass in. So they do get a gain of about 5 as Coleman gets past the original line of scrimmage. Taylor with Bunch to his left again. Faces some pressure in the pocket. Taylor's going to air it out downfield. It's going to be just out of reach, looking for Scott downfield. So here comes 4th and long now for the Chimeras. 6 minutes and 17 seconds left for the Chimeras here to try and get something going in the 4th quarter. Taylor going to come out with, looks like another bunch set to his left with Cottle to his right. Taylor drops back, faces some pressure. Laundry on the field. Taylor fires across the field. Picked off by Elijah Wilson. So there is a penalty on the play. Looks like it might be on Willingboro by the Paula 6 sidelines reaction. It looks like it is on Willingboro. So holding on Willingboro, that'll be declined. And Elijah Wilson comes up with an interception.
So here we go the other way. PBI ball. 6:03 remaining in the 4th quarter. Ball being spotted at the 41-yard line.
So Elijah Wilson having himself a day. Two rushing touchdowns for Elijah Wilson and an interception. That one might put this one on ice here as there's a little over 6 minutes left here in regulation. Paula 6 leads 21-0. Greco on the handoff gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Forward progress stop at the 41-yard line. And that's going to bring up a second down.
Second and about 9.5, maybe 10 for Paul the 6th here. Klecko on the handoff. Klecko breaks through a couple tackles, puts his foot in the ground, gets the first down, and then some spins into the tackle, drags some defenders with him. He's still not down. Nate Klecko with a grown man run.
3-yard line, first down, PBI.
Nate Klecko, grown man run there from the sophomore.
Dragging half the defense with him.
Got a 26-yard run there from the sophomore Nate Klecko. Dragging defenders with him and spinning out of tackles. Klecko again on the handoff, gets about a yard. He was met at the line of scrimmage.
32. Picks up a yard on the play, so we're going to say second and 9. Just outside 4 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
Felinas drops back. That pass is tipped and caught by Kevin Bunt. Kevin Bunt on the tip drill comes up with the catch there for Paul the 6th.
Picks up the small chunk of real estate up to the 29-yard line for 3rd down. The clock continues to move. About 3:15 to go in the 4th quarter.
Felinius hands off to Wilson here. Wilson going to try and make something happen. He's going to be drugged down in the backfield. Tackle for a loss on the play is Mickey Moore.
For a little bit of a lost tackle around the 34-yard line.
I think Wilson's okay with losing about a yard or two there. He's got 2 touchdowns and a pick on the day. And looks like the Paula 6 offense will stay on the field. Loss of about 5 yards on the play. Two minutes and counting left here in regulation. Felinis toss it to Klecko on the left side. Klecko gets up the left side, makes a man miss. Klecko cuts back. Klecko has some room. 1 minute beat. Nate Klecko's in for the score.
Corner puts another 6 on the board for PBI.
Nate Klecko's second touchdown of the day for the sophomore. And Paul the 6th puts this one on ice. That'll do it. Under 2 minutes left. Nate Klecko from 33 yards out scrambles into the end zone. So we await Blake Shoulders' extra point here late in the fourth quarter. Shoulders' extra point is up, and it is right down broad.
28. Willingboro, no score. Nate Klecko, 33 yards. Rambo.
Shoulders' extra point is good. Paul the 6th leads Willingboro 28-0 with a $1:55 left here to play in the fourth quarter. Nate Klecko on the 33-yard scamper for a score. So maybe some sort of penalty here that gives Paul the 6th some better kicking field position. Shoulders kick is up and away out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Shoulders kick on in and out of the back of the end zone. That'll be a touchback.
So the Chimeras, under 2 minutes left here, down 28-0 in the fourth quarter, will take over on their own 20-yard line. Sean Taylor and company going to try and find an answer before the clock hits triple zeros. So Taylor and crew. Taylor fakes a handoff, finds his man Coleman upfield. The RPO there. Darryl Coleman, gain of about 5.
Picks up about 5 on the catch.
2nd and 5 now for Willingboro. Cottle in motion to the right. Taylor airs it out downfield for Knight and overthrown and incomplete.
Bring up 3rd down.
Third and 5, 3rd and 4 coming up now. The first play of the drive was a 4-yard gain. That's why I'm a writer, not a mathematician. Minute and 10 left here to play in the 4th quarter as Paula 6 leads Willingboro 28-0. Taylor hands off to Cottle up the middle. Cottle makes a couple of miss, puts his foot in the ground, and is going to be sandwiched. The tin can pops off. Short of the first down. Cottle down with an injury here. So Cottle does get up. Gonna be looked at by the trainers real quick, though. Cottle and Keshin both injured. Keshin now the injured Paula 6 player on the ground. Cottle, good sign for him, jogs off onto the Chimera sideline after the helmet popped off and was sandwiched. Keshin slow to get up, but he does indeed get up. Has to come off for a play, so good sign for both teams. Makai Cottle and Mo Keshin, 2 very important players to both sides, so it's very good to see them walk off under their own power. Obviously, in this scenario, the game almost out of hand. You just want your players to come out healthy on both sides. Under a minute left now to play as the clock keep on running here. 4th and short coming up for Willingboro. 50 seconds and counting left in regulation. Cottle in motion. Taylor swing pass. I'm sorry, that's not Cottle, that's Scott. Scott drops it.
We'll take over on down inside the Willingboro 30.
They're going to say it's a fumble. So, yes, it was a backwards pass. I wasn't too sure on that. They're going to mark that as a fumble. They're going to say that's going to be credited to Taylor with the fumble. That was a backwards pass, so the ball be spotted where it went out of bounds. So I was correct. I didn't want to make any assumptions, but Taylor with the fumble. Loss of yards there. Regardless, turnover on downs for Willingboro. Paula 6 will take over deep in Willingboro territory. Looks like at about the 17-yard line. So Felinas will lead the offense back out here. Looks like they might just kneel this one out. 33 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Felinas takes the knee, and with under 40 seconds left, that will indeed do it. No more need for one more knee here as Paula 6 leaves, no doubt.
Final score, Paul 6, 28. Willingboro, no score. Let's have a nice round of applause for both of our teams for a great job for us out here tonight. Once again, we send our prayers along to that Willingboro player, the young man who was injured earlier in the game. I hope he has a swift recovery. Big shout out to the cheerleaders. Big shout out to the dance team. And a special shout out to
the
my
Paul
man
6
Billy
final
Simmons,
announcement here
York,
before I
giving
give
us all one piece tonight.
my magnum opus tonight.
We'll be back here at the end of October. Good night. God bless.
So as time runs out, the clock hits triple zeros. Paula 6 comes away leaving no doubt in the West Jersey Football League Continental Division as they down their division rival Willingboro 28-0 behind huge performances from Nate Klecko, Elijah Wilson, and pretty much the Paula 6 defense as they come up with the goose egg there. I'm Chris Baker. Thank you for joining me on this ride tonight. My apologies there. Huge one for Paula 6 as they now give Willingboro their first loss of the season, and Paula 6 picks up their 3rd consecutive win. I'm Chris Baker. Thank you for joining me tonight on D2 Sports Network on our YouTube channel. We will see you tomorrow at St. Joe's Regional as they host St. Peter's up in North Jersey. Thank you for joining me tonight. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.